Today I'm going to try and recalibrate the fresh air door motor for the heater box in my 2008 Dodge Grand Caravan. Basically, anytime I go from defrost or recirc, I get this banging sound in my dash. So I'm going to pull that motor off and see if I can get it timed correctly. Most heater boxes have 3 separate motors: the motor that switches from hot to cold, the motor that switches between floor, face, etc., and then the motor that switches between recirc or fresh air. I'm going to start the car up, and while it's making that noise, feel around under the dash to figure out which motor is giving me the grief. So under the glove box, I just have this little cover piece in the way. There's 2 clips like this I pried off with chair dikes, and then you can get access to your blower motor and figure out where the issue is. So this is the blower motor under here. The motor that I'm having the knocking noise is bolted to the side right here. This guy is the recirc refresh motor. I'm going to pull it off and see what's going on. So basically it's got these Torx. I think there's 3 of them. You just get a 1/4-inch ratchet with a socket and pull it out of the way. Okay, so I pulled the motor out of the place. There's 2 screws and then it sits up on this peg up here. I want to rotate it by hand, the heater box door. Make sure there's nothing in there that's actually jamming it. And then we will check out the motor. So basically I'm just pressing the recirc button on and off. The motor spins freely both ways. It doesn't really have a stop, so I'm going to try and rotate it a bit and bolt it back in there and see if that fixes my problem. Basically what's happening is when I press recirc, it's not in the right path, so it keeps trying to spin and close that door when it should be stopped. So I'm just trying to realign it correctly. Upon further inspection, you can see the gear on this motor has 1 notch missing, and then I've got those 3 like sunburst notches up at the top. So what I've done is spun the motor until the notch that's missing on the gear lines up with those 3 notches on the top, and then I'm going to bolt it back in place, and that should be calibrated. Since the motor is freewheeling and doesn't have actual stops, if you're having issues trying to get it to line up on those marks like I was, what I did was press and repress the recirc button until it was where I needed it to be, and then just unplug the motor so that it stopped where I wanted it, bolted it into place, and now I'm checking it out. So I press recirc off, go up to defrost, go back to face, recirc again. No more knocking noises. So hopefully you all aren't claustrophobic like me, and this wasn't such a lame Sunday afternoon job, but it's pretty easy to do it yourself. 2 screws and little elbow grease.